I've gotten so many ni hao from strangers on the street in Europe. It's so annoying. Hey guys, it's Wes. As some of you already know, I'm from Japan and I've been traveling in Europe for the past 6 months. I've met a lot of people throughout this trip and they asked me so many questions about Japan and Japanese people. That's probably because Japan is so far away from Europe and there are not many opportunities to learn about the real Japan. So in this video, as a Japanese person, I'm gonna answer some stereotypical questions that I've received during my travels in Europe. Enjoy!
Do Japanese people eat sushi every day? Can you cook sushi?
I kind of understand why people want to ask me this question because for a lot of people, sushi is the first food that comes to mind when they think of Japan. Unfortunately, we don't eat sushi every day. I've never met anyone doing that. Although sushi is a definitely more familiar food in Japan than in foreign countries, most people probably eat sushi once or twice a month because we have so many other great foods as well. And I can't cook sushi. Most people usually eat it at a restaurant or buy one at the supermarket and eat it at home. I remember when I was little, I tried cooking sushi with my parents by using a small bamboo mat called makisu. But except for that, I don't cook sushi myself.
Can you tell who's Japanese, Chinese or Korean by their appearance?
Most of the time, yes. I know it's hard for most European people, but honestly, I can't blame them because I can't tell who's British or French or Spanish only by their look either. So I think it all depends on whether you are used to seeing the appearance of that specific race in daily life. For facial features, I would say Japanese tend to have rounder eyes and a more oval face shape compared to Chinese and Korean people. Also, the hairstyles are quite different, but this is not always a given. So to be honest, if I see just a picture of each, I can't be 100% sure about who's from where because some Japanese look like Korean and some Chinese look like Japanese. But if I see their fashion style, makeup, and just normal behavior, I can usually tell if they're Japanese, Chinese, or Korean. And this is something I can't really tell about myself, but when I meet Chinese or Korean people, most of the time they say I look very Japanese. So I'm not sure if it's a good thing, but if you see someone who looks like me, they might be Japanese.
Does everyone watch anime in Japan?
Some people do, but not everyone, except for when we were little because most kids enjoy some kind of anime. I remember I used to watch Pokemon, Naruto, One Piece, and stuff like that. By the way, I'm so shocked by the fact that some European people don't even know that Pokemon is Japanese. Remember, Pokemon comes from Japan. But actually, most Pokemon's names are different in Japanese and English, such as Charizard being called Lizardon in Japanese. So it's very confusing for us to talk about Pokemon with foreigners. Anyway, as we get older, some people stop watching anime while others keep watching it. I don't really watch anime anymore, but I sometimes read manga, Japanese comics. I think a good thing about Japanese anime and manga is that there are a wide variety of them which are not only for kids but for adults too. For example, an anime called Attack on Titan has been so popular for the past few years. It's about a war against some creepy titans that kill humans or eat them alive, so this anime is not clearly for kids. But the storyline is so calculated and full of surprises that so many people are hooked on it. So although not everyone watches anime, I think it's recognized as quite a popular and a common interest in Japan more than in Western countries.
Do Japanese people really overwork?
The answer is yes, and I think there are good and bad sides to this. I think a lot of people feel very responsible when it comes to their job and work diligently in Japan, but because of that, there is also a big social pressure to prioritize work over other aspects of your life. Therefore, in a lot of companies, an overworking environment has become their normal working style, and sometimes you feel like you are not even allowed to complain about it. And many people get mentally or physically ill from that. It's one of the biggest social problems in Japan, and the government has been trying to change the situation lately, so not all companies are like that. At my previous company, I really overworked, but I would say I was lucky and it's still quite rare in Japan.
Can you understand Chinese?
No, but sometimes when I see Chinese writing, I can guess the meaning of the words because some Japanese characters called kanji are similar to Chinese. But still, there are so many different characters, and vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar are completely different. So, in conversation, I can't understand a single word they say, and I think most Chinese people can't understand us as well. I've heard that the grammar of Japanese and Korean are quite similar, but everything else like the alphabets and vocabulary are different, so we can't understand each other either.
你好
Okay, this is not even a question, but I have to address this because I've gotten so many ni hao from strangers on the street in Europe. It's so annoying. It's not because I don't like China or something, but it's because they clearly intend to mock Asians. Sometimes people might say ni hao to Asians because they are trying to be friendly by using our language. I mean, it's not my language, but at least they think it is. I still think the idea of all Asians being Chinese is very ignorant, but I don't blame them because at least they don't mean any harm. But most of them say ni hao to make fun of Asians. You know, it's very easy to tell whether they are doing that in a bad faith or not. If you're not Asian, you might not know what it's like, but when you're just walking on a street, a complete stranger passing by suddenly says ni hao or China to you with a smirk. It's so disturbing. One time, I had someone literally yelling ni hao to me and laughing from a running car. And it's not really different depending on the country. I've had these experiences in almost every country that I've been to during this trip, from Eastern Europe to Western Europe. Of course, most people that I met during this trip are so nice and I have great memories of each country. But I really think that some people should be more educated and stop doing that to Asians.
Do Japanese people not speak English?
I wish I could say that's not true, but in fact, a lot of Japanese don't speak English. I think this is something you will quickly realize if you visit Japan. I guess one of the reasons is that Japan is ethnically a very homogeneous country, so we don't really have many opportunities to use English in daily life. We learn English in school, but the English class mainly focused on grammar and reading a textbook, so a lot of people are not used to having conversations with someone in English. Some Japanese who have studied abroad or have an interest in foreign culture like me can speak English, but they are still not common. But of course, it doesn't apply to all Asians, and for some of them, English is even their official language, so please throw away the stereotype that all Asians can't speak English. Actually, there are some other questions that I got a lot of during this Europe trip, but the video would be too long, so I'll stop here. If you're interested, I might make a part 2 video and answer the remaining questions, so please comment below if you wanna see that. This is my first video that isn't a travel vlog, so I'm not sure how you liked it, but if you enjoyed the video, please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, bye!